we are able to print on all type of materials. So flexo comes from flexibility, and it also, of course, comes from a flexible printing plate, but it also comes from being flexible on substrates. So a flexo printing press basically can print on everything. And that helps also on the sustainability story.
Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Across Europe, packaging is being redefined. The new Packaging and Packaging Waste Regulation, part of the European Green Deal, is reshaping how products are designed, printed, and recycled. The goal? To make all packaging reusable or recyclable by 2030, and to cut waste across every supply chain for printers, converters, and brands. It's not just a regulation, it's a transformation. From ink formulas to fiber sourcing, from digital workflows to circular materials, sustainability is no longer optional. It's the new standard for Europe's packaging and print industry, and the clock is ticking.
A couple of years ago, the process in the sustainability area began in Poland very intensive. And since last year, in December last year, was approved by Polish government the new regulation, PPWR. It means Packaging and Packaging Waste Regulation. And we implemented those regulations to Polish law.
The regulation of packaging and packaging waste has undoubtedly been one of the most hotly debated pieces in legislation in Brussels in recent months.
Regarding the very many extremely good things in the report, so as not to penalise the excellent work which has been done in recent years to improve the quality of packaging, to ensure that packaging in the market is increasingly sustainable, to invest in recycling industries, innovative research.
We think that sustainability is more expensive, okay? And that comes from the fact that already, if you want maybe recyclable material substrate, sometimes it's more expensive than non-recyclable substrate. Okay? And we are working with our customers to help reduce the cost on the printing process, eventually to balance out additional costs coming from the substrate or from other material they are using to be recyclable. So it's not, if we look at each of those components, some will be more expensive, but if we look holistically, we can reduce the overall cost of the printing process.
With the crystal screening technology, we're able to save about 20% of the total ink consumption on the printing press. So these are huge savings. They would save about 60,000 tons of printing ink per year. So 60,000 tons of printing ink, just making it a little bit more understandable. This is about 3,500 fully loaded trucks. So each truck with 35 tons of ink. This type of ink we can take off the roads because it's not used anymore.
We always, when we do some investments, we try to look what will be the energy consumption and so on. When we want to compare gravure to flexo, we must look what is, for example, the setup time, what create also waste, and in flexo you can do it much quicker. Then the consumption of energy of moving one cylinder, what is very heavy, comparing to a flexo plates, the gravure has much bigger energy input, yeah, comparing to the flexo. From that, I think that the right way is to go now with flexo process, because they are even now in certain areas better than gravure.
In the comparison between gravure printing and flexo printing, and that is a saving of substrate. If you look at everything what is printed in flexible packaging printing on Earth over 1 year, and you just put it in a 1 meter wide lane. So you might think this lane goes around the Earth, or 2, 3, 4, 5 times around the Earth, which would be huge. It's even more. So this lane would be something like 300 million kilometers. Basically, that is a lane that's going from the Earth to the Sun, and from the Sun back to the Earth. So that is what we are printing in 1 year for flexible packaging applications. And now imagine we could do savings, only just little savings on this huge lane. Typically, let's say, substrate thickness, let's say, is 25 micron, what you need for gravure printing. In flexo printing, it's something like 12, 13, 14, 15 micron, what you can print. And when you then just say, with a few micron of thickness reduction, you save hundreds, thousands, or even a few million tons of plastic every year for when all the jobs are moving from gravure to flexo printing. Well, that is a sustainability impact which is huge. I think that is a very high achievement when we are looking into sustainability. But there are also a lot of other things what we are doing. So we are helping customers to become more sustainable by reducing plastic, reducing ink, but also, of course, reducing the waste that they have when they start a job, and the waste that they produce when they have to stop the press to clean a job, to clean the plates, in order to print longer runs with the job. Just as an example, we had one project together with one of our customers in Poland and one flexo plate suppliers to print and chocolate wrap paper with a fully compostable metallic foil. So this foil looks like a metallic foil, but if you put it into your home composter, for example, then it will decay after a while, and the residuals will not be toxic in any way. But that also means this is not only the foil where we had to print on, we also had to use inks without any toxic components, and we also had to use, or wanted to use, plates which have been produced or processed with water. So we are moving to a point where we can do those kind of things without the usage of any kind of solvents. We had another project where we printed, for example, a pouch that contains peanuts with 100% recycled paper to the outside. But if you do this, of course, the peanuts, they cannot come in contact with oxygen. So what our customers did is they just printed a kind of barrier layer of the inside of the paper. It was also printed with flexo, a kind of lacquer, which can be solved in the recycling process of the paper. So also this package is fully recyclable, but it keeps the peanuts fresh at least for a year. So those kind of projects we are involved, and we are moving forward to make them usable for the rest of our customers. Let's say by this, we are creating quite an impact in the industry by working together with not only our customers, but also with all the other industry partners like plate suppliers, ink suppliers, press suppliers, in order to bring better solutions to our customers.
We discussed earlier about gravure and flexo. Gravure is not a very sustainable printing process, quite costly. And when you start implementing a digital flexo press, a CI press for instance, with extended color gamut, you will start seeing some immediate benefits on sustainability. Obviously, less cylinder, less energy consumption, and we have some plates that are very durable, that can ensure long printing processes and repeatable printing processes without any errors. So we are controlling on the upfront, the pre-press, the error reduction and the waste. And on the printing processes, we are working with ink manufacturers, Anilox manufacturers, and press manufacturers to reduce the overall impact of the printing process. It's not, again, only ESCO. It has to be seen holistically within the overall press ecosystem. And in the last 5 years, we have made quite some outstanding progress on that aspect, again, with the partnership that we have in that ecosystem.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, your heart is a sun, and it shines as it opens.
Well, your heart is the sun, and it shines as it opens.
Yeah, your heart is a sun.
I discovered that, in fact, I had some connection and some personal affinity with packaging for years.
And it shines.